All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Also, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to all you brothers out there who push the word in all truth and all sincerity. And, we're going to get into a lesson concerning, spending habits and, just pretty much just being wise with what you're doing with your money, all right? Because, we're going to pull it out in a moment, but it says, money is a defense. So, in order to actually have the defense, via the money, you have to, have money with you. You have to have money in your bank account. All right, you can't, be overspending, because you never know when, it's going to be a rainy day. All right, that's why it's good to have a little extra, in your bank account, and whether it be for yourself or whether it be for a brother, because things happen, man. Things do occur where, it's unforeseen, and you just got to, like I said, take care of yourself, or you might have to, sacrifice and give a little bit of money for, for that brother, man. All right. Shit, you got that?
Yeah, this is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 7 and 12.
No, it's Ecclesiastes.
Oh, this is Ecclesiastes. Oh, sorry. This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 12. It says, "For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it."
Yeah, so we know that, what did it say? Wisdom is a defense. And it said that, money is a defense. We know first and foremost that ultimate defense is, knowing the law, statutes, and commandments, the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, okay? Having that fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, having that faith. We understand that's the ultimate defense. But still, you have to operate in this world, okay? And you have to have money, man, all right? It's just facts. You have to have money to, survive and operate in Babylon or wherever you're at, all right? So you don't want to overspend. You don't want to overspend just because you have it. It's smart to put things to the side. And, hey, we're all learning, we're all taking L's. We're all growing and maturing. This is something that's getting pushed heavily right now by a lot of the heads of camps around, around the world right now, all right? The heads of different churches of Great Millstone. You hear it, because a lot of, younger brothers, they're overspending. They're getting themselves in jams. And ultimately, it's actually hurting the body, all right? Because realistically, when a brother's in a jam, they might be able to, ask maybe their parents or, maybe their, actual blood, brother or blood sister, for money. But most of the time, who are they going to go to? They're going to go to the brotherhood for help. And that now is hurting, the body, man. By making these, foolish decisions, man. Because a lot of times when brothers need money, it's due to the fact that they're making foolish decisions. Let's get for real, man. Sometimes, yeah, things do occur, but a lot of times, realistically, it's just a foolish, a move that you made. And now you need the money.
It says, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. And the whole thing is how the brother's going into making those choices, man. Like when the wisdom is basically applying the knowledge, man. Because, hey, we all know right from wrong. It's just like when you're put in these situations, you got to tell you're either going to have to just most of the time it comes down to just telling yourself no or making the best choice, And Jake just folds a lot, and they just do shit that's convenient, man. But convenience isn't always good, man. Sometimes you gotta suffer, Sometimes you just gotta fall back, stay in the house, whatever it may be, What's you called it? You asked me for a second one too, right? The
refrain from thy lust.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, like how the brother said, like a lot of things that are convenient, they're not profitable in the end. Like for instance, something small like you eating out, let's say every day for lunch, when you're at work. Hey, why don't you, buy some, cold cut meats, buy, some fruit and take that, for lunch, man. Instead of, spending all this money at the burger spot, the pizza spot, wherever, wherever you're getting, your food from. Why don't you just make it at home? You'll save, a good $5, man. A good solid $5. And then when you add that up, throughout the week, man, that's a lot of money. And you add it up, for the month, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that's just, one example I could think of. There's other things too. Hey, maybe you might not be able to go out that one night. Hey, you might have to, like the brother said, you might have to fall back and stay, inside. Instead of getting drinks at the bar, maybe you just need to sit down. Maybe, hey, have a brother over. Maybe watch, whatever, a movie or a fight or something at the house, man, instead of going to the sports bar. Instead of spending like, let's say, $50 to $100 at the sports bar, you only spend maybe like, what, $30 at the house?
And then make a budget too, have a plan. Like, Jacob be in that spirit where it's like this Babylon's gonna be destroyed spirit, so I'm just gonna go all out. But it's like, look, man, hey, you gotta still maintain until the Lord comes, Like, hey, have a budget, sit down, calculate your finances, you know what I mean? Pay the bill, pay the certain bills that you gotta pay, and then, set a portion aside to save or whatnot. But I'm actually gonna go up a few spirit. I'm actually gonna go up a few
wherever
verses.
You want to start.
There's Sirach 18 and start at 27. It says, "A wise man of fear in everything, and in the day of sinning, he will beware of offense." Yeah, because you don't always want to be. It's another scripture where it talks about. We'll probably actually bring it out in Tobit, where it talks about basically don't be given over to like evil in a sense, where basically just because we could go out in the world, party, maybe meet some women, get some drinks and do all that, don't always be like tied to the expense of these things, man. But it says, "A wise man of fear in everything, the day of sinning will beware of offense, but a fool will not observe time." And see, that's the thing, man. Like, hey, you got to really sit down. Like, hey, you give 40 hours to Esau. We give so many hours to the Lord, that we, in this society, what we're doing. So many hours we're putting in for the Lord, the tithes, all that. You got to really take in consideration, the time, the time that we have, man, because it really all boils down to this time. You know what I mean? Because basically, our money stems from us fucking giving up our time. It says, "And every man of understanding knoweth wisdom, and will give praise unto her that found her." So yeah, like if we like I said earlier, like we know the difference from right and wrong, man. It's really just making the best choices, man. We gotta keep striving not to just be giving just really giving heed to the flesh, man, and just doing dumb actions. It says they that were of understanding and sayings became also wise themselves, and poured out exquisite parables. So this is something like, hey, how the brother said, this is being preached throughout all the churches, and this is something fairly simple. Like, we've been hearing these things our whole life, but it's just like, hey, man, it's like people in the world, you know what I mean? Like, best example is I could say like something we've been hearing our whole life is that we would say is simple until it really like hits you, until you really get pricked by it. And see, that's the thing where it's like, hey, as a collective whole, as the body, the whole body's being pricked by this. If the whole church is saying if all the churches around the world are saying the same thing, it's like we're all being pricked by this, So we got to basically take heed. It says, verse 30, "Go not after thy lusts, but refrain thyself from thy appetites." And that's a huge thing, man, where it's like, hey, us coming closer basically to the day of the Lord, the day of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, a lot of things that we're tied to anyway, and like a lot of things that we quote unquote like to do in the society are going to be stripped from us anyway, but then it comes down to that balance situation, where it's like, hey, you don't want to basically be engulfed in this world, man, giving up all your resources, because that's really what this world is trying to do, man. It's constantly trying to milk you dry, Yeah,
and that's something, going back to the scripture, how it says, refrain from thy lust, man. You got to have discipline. And that's something that, it's hard. It is hard, because this flesh wants to, it wants to get that pleasure. It wants to feel, good. It wants to feel, it wants to be comforted, man, But there's times where you got to just, as the scriptures talk about, put that flesh into subjection, man. You got to just, tell yourself, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't sit there and, go out tonight. I can't spend, that extra money on that, that drink. All right. Or that extra money on this, on this food or whatever, whatever it may be, man. Going out to, depending on what brothers like to do. Some brothers, they may like to go play games, shoot pool, gamble, whatever it is, man. Some brothers like to, I can't even think of stuff, like play sports where it might cost you some money. Like they might go bowling, might play hockey. I don't even know, man. I'm just naming stuff that might cost money, man. And sometimes you might just have to just say, no, I got to just, fall back for the day.
Verse 31 says, if thou givest thy soul to the desires that please her, she will make thee a laughing stock to thy enemies that malign thee. And yeah, that's like the, it makes me, this scripture makes me think about basically where it taught the parable about counting the cost, man. You don't want to be the one who basically doesn't have, who didn't basically take in consideration, who didn't count the cost to basically
finish the project.
Yeah.
Didn't have the funds to finish the building.
And that's the thing, man. We gotta sit there. You gotta really count the cost. You gotta ask yourself, like, all right, is this gonna be the most? Is this the most profitable thing? What are the outcomes? Like you look at these fucking these Edomites. You know what I mean? Like you look at these business Edomites. They really don't move unless it's like a sure thing. You know what I mean? They're not out here really fucking taking risk like that. Where it's like, hey, we can't be in that mindset of that lackadaisical mindset of, just constantly and just taking risks. All the brothers got me, or I'll fall back on this. You don't want to. That's like being a niggard, man.
And that's you're not basically considering what other brothers are going through and how they feel. Like I said, there are times where it occurs where unforeseen things happen where brothers need to help out a particular, brother out, from his situation. But there's a lot of situations that can be prevented. And a lot of brothers, use the brotherhood as a safety net. You don't want to be doing that, man. Like the brother said, that's that niggard spirit, man. That's a niggard spirit to have. Because the scriptures talk about it, man. It says, do unto others, what, do
unto others,
Salaki, I can't even think of how it's quoted, basically do unto others what you would want to be done unto you, man. Would you would you want to constantly be spending and giving out your dishing out your money to brothers? I mean, yeah, if you had to, so be it. But if it's for someone, put it like this: if it's towards stuff that could be prevented, do you really want to give that brother money, man? You get vexed with that shit, man. It's like, damn, dude, I gotta give you money because you were just doing some unwise shit, Like shit. What if that brother had, now he's in a tight, a tighter situation. Hey, you got brothers that'll, sacrifice, and now not only them but their whole family that they have is, feeling it. Now, he can't, take his family out. They might actually have to, buy, cheaper brands of food or whatever. You know what I mean? Shit like that, man. Like you really gotta think about that stuff. Hey, we did, brothers might not be able to buy themselves like, some extra clothes because they know, well, they see a brother in need and they're like, well, I'll still, rock the same, stuff that I've been having, just because I want to make sure that brother's okay. He's got, his bill paid off or he's got that food on the table. You know what I mean? But realistically, hey, that brother he didn't, put it like this, that brother put himself in that situation. It didn't need to, this stuff didn't need to occur, man. It could have been prevented. Can't have that fucking spirit, man. You got to really think about the body, man. That's something that, because this society, man, all it teaches you is to worry about yourself and, and just forget about everyone else, man. And when you come into this truth, you got to think about, the brotherhood, those that are around you. You have to always have that in mind. And that's something, that we're all trying to learn and, trying to, perfect. Being conscious of our actions and, thinking about, how your actions are going to affect the body, man. Is there any more to that? Or?
Yeah, it's a few more verses. It says, be not made a beggar by banqueting It's like, be not made a beggar by banqueting upon borrowing, when thou hast nothing in thy purse, for thou shalt lie in wait for thy own life and be talked on. And that's the thing, like how we're going into, man. You don't want to be that guy who's always got his hand out. You know, like you can get known for these things. You know, like, oh, this brother's, you know, constant in the same situation, constant same situation. Where it's like, hey, like, look, one, pray to the Lord that, you, of course, you know, he helps you with your situation, and then go put the action forth, man. You know, like, yeah, of course you pray to the Lord, but you gotta put some action forth too, man. You know, but yeah, you know, you don't want to constantly be that person where it's just like, hey, because as far as like amongst ourselves, you know, the systems that we have set up is like, hey, if something does happen where one brother who really does need it, he may not be able to get it because then you know, another brother's getting it that just did some foolish, something that could have been prevented, you know.
Yep.
Let me see. I know another one. Just gotta think of how it's worded. Let me see, Salaki.
That's why, you know, as the scriptures talk about, man, I think it's in that Proverbs, it talks about pondering your steps, man. You know, and that goes into like having that balance, man, weighing everything out in the balance. That's something that we all have to do. We have to, you know, think about our actions and how it's going to affect everything. All right, is this going to be profitable or is it not?
Yeah.
That's how you have to really think about things, man. Is it going to be profitable or not? You know, and there's always going to be a time and a place for things. Like, hey, we're not saying they don't. Hey, if you put it like this, don't like spend your money. Hey, if you need to go out, you know, in a sense, you know, cater to the flesh, go do it. There's times where you have to do these things because it's all about balance. But you don't want to overindulge. That's the thing. It's that overindulging in these pleasures.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And then, you know, and you know, we got to mature. That's the main thing right now. We're going through a growth process. And you know, when you grow, stuff feels uncomfortable, man. It really does. When you're growing, things feel uncomfortable. Even when you're in the world, like when you were a little kid, when you started hitting those growth spurts, sometimes you would have aches and pains because, you know, your body would be growing and it would be stretching. You know, you'd be stretching out in a sense, man. You know, it didn't feel good. But all in all, was to, you know, help you become what? A man. You know. And that's something that's what we're going through right now. You know, spiritually. You know, we're going through those, you know, those growing pains. You know, that's the old saying, you know, the growing pains, man. You know, you live and you learn, man. Yeah, you're going to stumble and fall. We all do it. We've all messed up. No doubt about it. No one's perfect. But, you know, we got to sit there and, you know, mature from these mistakes. We got to, move forward. Can't sit there, you know, take one step forward and then 2 steps back. You got something?
Yeah, this is Sirach 18 and 25. It says, when thou hast enough, remember the time of hunger, and when thou art rich, think upon poverty and need. You know? So yeah, like if the Lord blesses you with something, you know, don't fucking just, you know, getting out of that all fucking like, I'm well off now mindset. You know, you still gotta fucking stay in that same mindset of like, where was I like fucking 5 minutes ago, you know? You know, basically not to get proud, man, because then you get that fucking proud mindset, then everything you had just goes out the window, you know?
Yeah, Lord will humble you.
Yeah.
Lord will humble you real quick. That's why, you know, it's just, you know, the scriptures say it, man. Hey, don't give me poverty and nor give me riches, man.
I don't know how many times I got some money and then fucking just overdid it and that money was gone like the next day.
Yep. You know, you want to have that balance. And also, the scriptures, you know, I'll just quote it. It talks about not living the beggar's life, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't want to be that brother that, you know, sits there and always has his hand out, man. It's not it's not good. It's not good. You know, and it's just all in all, man. We just got to mature and just grow up. Because really, all this stuff, you know, it just goes back to the flesh, man. You know, realistically, everything just goes back to the flesh. You know, it's just something that we got to, you know, battle from day to day. But hey, it's just, hey, we got to start thinking about more than just ourselves. That's why, hey, right now it's in the spirit of, buckling down, man. It's in the spirit of buckling down right now. Because major things are about to happen. That's why. This dollar is getting weaker. The cost of living is rising. Brothers are gonna start feeling uncomfortable, man. And going back to that scripture, the first scripture we started off with, money is a defense. We're still in Babylon, so we're gonna need money to operate in this place, and we're gonna need those those funds that are saved, on legitimate situations, not little BS situations. Because when every brother has I need 50 here, 60 there, 100 there, you can't save anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's gonna be times that you're gonna need 1,000 here, 2,000 there, 3,000, but it's gonna be legitimate situations, man. But now it's hard to get that money because because brothers have been for the past 3 months been asking for the 50, 60, $100 here, nonstop, man, every week. It's folly, man.
This is Tobit 4 and let me see, it started 7. It says, "Give alms of thy substance, and when thou givest alms, let not thy eye be envious, neither turn thy face from any poor."
Yeah, it said, let the not eye be envious. Don't worry about it. When you give out your tithes, your treasury money, just know that it's for a good cause, man. Give that money out, man, if you have it. Obviously it's a balance. Hey, everything's in a balance. Always got to weigh things out. But when you give it, hey, just remember the Lord's gonna repay you back in some way, form, or fashion, man. And you never know. It might be your turn where you need your handout might be out there for money, man. You might need that assistance.
Mm-hmm. It says neither turn neither turn thy face from any poor, and the face of Yahweh shall not be turned away from thee. It says, if thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly. If thou hast but little, be not afraid to give according to the little. Because for thou layest up good treasure. For thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity. And even going into the welfare system, man. Giving alms, basically that's gonna help you. You may have to borrow from the brothers, or even the Lord. You might be walking down the street and the Lord is fucking lets you find a roll of $100 bills, right when you needed or something, just because you gave it to brothers in their time of need, It says, because that alms do deliver from death and suffer not to come into darkness. And that's the whole thing, man. Hey, so every brother really should be working, and I would say, in a sense, hey, work full time if you can, Hey, work as much as is balance wise, but work full time if you can. That way, of course, you could give more, and you could do more. You could save more. You could do more things. Not only for the body, even for yourself.
Yep.
Because if you just got a bunch of time on your hands and you're just fucking sitting there, I mean, it's only so much spiritual work you're gonna do. It's only so much bullshit you can do in the quote unquote world. You know what I mean? So hey, and that was even Apostle Tahar made that a decree a long time ago. Every man should be having some type of job or some hustle. So hey, even for myself, it's really no excuse. Shit, we just gotta make better choices, man.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Is there more to that or no?
No, this is.
Yeah, you got any other scriptures? Because I can't really think of anything, but yeah, pretty much. Just be wise. Save up. Don't be overspending. Just have do everything in a balance, and just start making some wiser decision making. This is for all of us. First and foremost for ourselves. Because we're making this video. And then, just Akim who are listening, just really make better decisions. Because, we're all in this together, man. And, like I said, man, there's a lot of times where serious situations do come up and they're unforeseen, circumstances. And that stuff can, be, man, we're talking about hundreds and thousands of dollars that might have to, be, dropped right there on the spot, man, for a brother.
Yeah.
And we all need to start saving up. So, if anything does happen, hey, if every brother gives that $100, you say if you got a pretty big camp, of like, let's say 20 brothers, every brother has that, $100, to bring in. That's a decent amount of money right there, man. That's that's $2,000, So you gotta think like that. If every brother saved up a little bit, when serious situations do happen, look, it's not a burden on one or two brothers or whatever, We all pitch in, and guess what? That particular brother who's in a jam now is taken care of easily too. Where it's not affecting everybody. So just start just being more wise, man, and don't be lazy too, man. With that work stuff, because brothers, hey, the elder brother in our camp, the elder Bahara in our camp made a video, and he made a point, man. A lot of brothers get these app-based jobs and they get lazy, man. They don't have the discipline to set a schedule. Because even with these app-based jobs, you have to have somewhat of a schedule, man.
That's even a harder. To tell you the truth, that's actually a harder job than normal jobs because, for instance, right, you have a normal job. Yeah, you're for if you don't show up, they just fucking fire you. They want you to be there these hours. Now you have like that. I guess you could say like that. That freedom where it's like, okay, I can make my own hours. But now it's like, hell, if you don't work, the only person at this point is being hurt now is you, because now you have to be on yourself, to be getting up, working the hours, setting the schedule, because you have nobody on your back saying, hey,
Yep.
Be there at this time, take lunch at this time. You got to be that person.
Yep. And then brothers who do have like those regular jobs, hey, deal with it. Obviously, this goes for any job. We're going to deal with, hardship. We're going to deal with trials and tribulations. Satan's going to hop on people to, basically cause a distress in your life. Just deal with it. Gird up your loins and deal, man. Don't be just quitting. Like the elder Bahara said it too. Don't be quitting a job if you have nothing lined up.
Yeah.
He said that in a few videos already. Because brothers be doing that. They get so basically frustrated that they just throw in the towel and they're like, oh, whatever. I don't want to work here anymore. And they have no backup plan. That's not wise, man. All right, you always got to have something, lined up before you do these things. All right, but yeah, that's pretty much it, man. You got anything else?
No.
And with that, hopefully this was edifying. And with that, we're going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Also, double honors to the apostle and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to all the brothers out there. Shalom.
Shalom.